so well here. And here I go, putting on my gloss with you. Today's topic is so important. We're rising in power and integrity and love and nourishment. And it's important that we do on so many levels. And part of this ascension as we continue is going to be becoming aware of what's even happening. Awareness is such a huge thing, and so that's why I'm bringing up this quote today. And I'm going to give you 3 powerful tips for owning your worth. And if you know me, I hold sacred space for women to own their worth, manifest, tap into their feminine energy and power to receive more love, money, and nourishment, and ultimately wake up as God happening on the planet. Hey, who's here? Who's here with me? So here's the deal. Women ask and initiate negotiations. The latest statistics show a 4 times less than men do. And so, I mean, if we're not asking, if we're not willing to ask for what we want, then you're not going to receive what you want. So first of all, choosing that you are going to allow yourself to raise your value, and choosing that you are going to allow yourself to even get the value of who you are now is healing. It's potent, it's powerful. It anchors in for your children, your nieces, the other women that you influence, and young women on the planet, because we're training their DNA. We're training women and their beliefs about who they are and what is safe and what isn't safe to go for. And so, first of all, choose that you're going to own your worth, even if it's uncomfortable. Hey, who's here? Say hello. I wanna interact with you. Who's here? I know it's earlier today than I've gone in a while. I'm going to the gym in a bit, working on my fitness. He's my witness. Woo woo. So here's the thing. Again, choosing that you're going to own your voice, your worth, and your value is healing to our entire planet and supports the cause of women being financially nourished. And when women are nourished and not in desperation, we are generous, we are giving, we take care of people, and so you're worth it, and you need that. And that's the first thing. That's the first tip. Accept it and decide that even when it's uncomfortable, you're going to take yourself out of your comfort zone and do things to begin to allow yourself to receive your worth and your value. Okay, so step 2 is you've got to give up the victim mentality. And the victim mentality is anything that, it's how you show up. So if that can affect, so maybe you say, hey, I am going to initiate more negotiations. I'm going to ask for what I want. And negotiation happens in negotiating with your family that, hey, you don't want to you don't want to make dinner tonight. You'd rather be taken to dinner, or negotiating. We're negotiating all the time, negotiating something at work. If you choose to be negotiating, it's merely a communication and a vote for what you want. It doesn't have to be this ugly demand or this, forceful, fierce space. And sometimes that happens too. So asking for what you want and choosing to ask more is huge. But if you're showing up as a victim, still thinking, you should give me what I want because I work so hard and I have 15 children and money's tight and I come from this background, or it's been a tough day, or la 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 la. When you come from that space, and there's no judgment, I've been there many, many times in my adult life. when you're coming from victim space, and not an actual victim, let me be clear about that, but when you're expressing yourself and energetically coming from that space in a negotiation or in life period, then you're placing yourself below other people and asking for compassion and pity, and not that can't be successful. Sometimes it gets you where you want temporarily, but it doesn't feel good, number one, because it doesn't use your whole power, and two, it doesn't acknowledge the truth of who you are. And it's way more powerful to feed the value that you're bringing, consider the value that you're going to bring, create the value that you're going to bring to the table, so that whatever you're asking for is a super exchange for the right match, for someone who values you and values that. But if you don't value you, no one else is going to value you, right? So you've got to be, it's that whole believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to value yourself in order to receive the value that you want. So when you show up for a negotiation, or you're showing up in life, feel, when are you, if you feel yourself playing the victim and being, susceptible to your own stories of self-shame and pity and why you're not good enough and all this stuff, work to move into what value you are bringing, what you are doing right, what you can do, and then communicate with the world, with yourself, from that value. It's going to get you way further. And then here's another thing. We've got, a lot of times, women have these beliefs that, someone, Prince Charming, is just going to come and rescue. And we've been trained, Prince Charming's coming, someone's coming for the women and the children. And so we, in ourselves, cannot sit around waiting for someone to come and deliver you, for just magic fairy dust. You've got to give up the rescue, this princess, damsel in distress story, and own that you are the queen, that you have power. This is your queendom, and give up this whole waiting around that someone's going to notice your work. It happens, but very, very, very rarely. You've got to express your value to the world. You've got to own it with love, with sincerity, with pride. And there may even be a little bit of, awkwardness. You may feel conflicted. It may feel counterintuitive, and very likely will, because you've been living a certain pattern your whole life. But in order to step into your divinity and your worth and your queendom, and have other people recognize that and meet you there, you're going to have to go through some uncomfortable spots of choosing to own your actions, your beliefs, even when they feel a little edgy or uncomfortable. And then the third thing that I think I've already given you three: own your value, stop being a victim, and give up the damsel in distress story for good. And then the other thing is just, really, my pup's whining about something she's seeing outside. The last thing that I want to say is that you are wonderful. You are delightful, and you may also be an a-hole, and you may also be, we're all a blend of all these mixed emotions and things, and you have the choice to choose what you focus on within yourself. And for leaders and champions and people that are getting it in the moment and in the spaces that they are thriving in love and health and finance, are when they allow themselves to focus on their abilities to accomplish and align with this vision, this higher vision that they have of themselves, and they focus on how they're supported, and they allow you need to allow your faith. And faith is something that is faith because you don't see it yet. You're in the middle of something else, of a totally different picture, of not being in the relationship yet, of a relationship that's not working, of finances that aren't working, of friendships that aren't working, health that's not working. You're in the middle of that, and faith is when you choose to focus and believe that something else is coming, that there is higher space coming around the corner, and that you will get there. And so it's not based on what you see and what you know now. And a lot of people get stuck in, we have faith as children, and then slowly we decide it's safer to manage our expectations, not to think too big, and we train ourselves basically to not have faith and to be very practical and very grounded in reality, which is important at some level. But here's what you miss out on, is that ability to use your faith muscle when you need it. So faith is a daily practice of choosing that your highest and greatest good is coming for you. And when you choose that and you direct your attention, then everything in your brain and being starts to rework the stories for you in a way, and filter your stories and the information in the way that you will be able to see that things are getting better, that your faith is working out, and that you are cared for. And sometimes people resist that because they're like, oh, my brain it's just making this up, or it's not reality, or I'm believing an illusion. But here's the thing, you can believe either thing, and training your brain in this way to connect to faith, to connect to your higher senses, your higher self, is magical, because you're creating a vision for the future. Then you're creating a belief system, and if you don't have the belief system and the mindset to back you, you're not going to get there. So you're training your brain to create this belief system that is, yes, I am cared for. Yes, the future is working out. Yes, everything is working out. My highest and greatest good. I am divinely guided. I am led to my next steps. And then as you create that foundation and that belief system, and your brain starts showing you evidence of, and spirit starts showing you evidence of these things coming in, then you are able to receive them. And guess what? You start to actually take the action even more consistently, aligned with your desires, your belief, your value, and then you get more of what you want in the world. So definitely you're worth it. And if you're a woman who may already be claiming her value, or you're not claiming your value or your worth in some area, drop an emoji, say something about it in here. Let other women know that they're not alone, or private message me if you feel vulnerable sharing that. And if you'd like support in getting paid more, getting the raises, getting the promotions, owning your value, receiving the love, up-leveling the way that you see yourself, then reach out to me. I have several ways to work with you, very privately or in a couple of group settings. And there are different offerings that the things that women are getting in the manifesting group, selling houses off the hook when there was a dead zone before then, manifesting checks, thousands of dollars have been manifested just in the past 30 days. And it's very powerful and potent. So I'd love to work with you, and have a great day. Lots of love.